I want to talk about what it is to be female. I'm sick and tired of woman. Woman has got too much assertion in her. She knows too much. What I love now is female, because female is the finer part of woman. And because I love female, which is the closest part of woman to God, to the truth that she is, I'm going to describe what female is and how beautiful she is. And then I'll talk about woman and her assertion and what she thinks she knows. You see, my teaching's always moving on, never stops still. No good talking about the Dhammapada or the Vedas or something of 2,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago to me. They don't make any sense whatever. That's why they need some master to interpret them. You don't need to interpret what I'm saying. I am the interpretation of life, of truth. I'm right down to earth here with you. So now I'm giving you something new. To be a female. To be, no, not a female, because that would be to be a woman. But because woman has an individuality. And female doesn't have any. Female's impersonal. And that's why female is so beautiful, so lovable, so wonderful. Because female, of course, is woman's unpredictability, which when a woman's unpredictable, oh my God, we get so confused. But when female's unpredictable, when she's female, it is so beautiful. Because you can't predict what she's going to do next moment, thank God. It's beautiful. But you can, because she'll always be true. Female is always true. True to what? True to love. Not true to herself. And not true to what she imagines herself to be as a woman. Not saying, I am woman, I am free. Female doesn't say that. Female is free. Beautiful, wonderful, glorious she is. Unpredictable. And yet, so wise when she is. You know, she just comes out of her. No good asking her to say anything because it just comes out of her. So straight from God, so straight from truth. Whereas woman has got a lot of conditioning. And you had to pass through being a woman, didn't you? You had to pass through being a woman, but are you female enough? Are you? And man, when are you going to wake up that what you love is the female in woman? But you can't really see her and you can't love her because you know too much too. You have so much conditioning. You waste so much of your time doing so much of the things that you do. You can't realize the female, the woman that you're with, the woman that you're with, you cannot realize the female that you're with. Because you're so busy and you know so much and you're so conditioning and you're always shopping around either with females or masters or something, always trying to find something to get something. And when you find a woman, you're always trying to get something from her. Whereas a female, you can't get anything from female because she gives it. You can't get it. She gives it. Just by her very presence, by her mystery, her wonderful mystery. Now, female can never ever have moods. As soon as she has a mood, or she's emotional, she's a woman. And God help me, God save me from the woman. Although I've loved woman, and I do love woman, I don't love the emotion in her. I don't love the knowing of something in her. I don't love the lack of innocence in her, which is the knowing of something. And so in loving the woman, as I have loved woman, absolutely, and given my life to her, I now have realized the female. People send me beautiful new copies of their master's translation of the Bhagavad Gita, and all sorts of drawings and stuff in it, and also just plain things and interpretations of the Bhagavad Gita, and it's all very beautiful. The only thing is that the Bhagavad Gita has only got 2 points in it. The rest of it is just poetic beauty, and poetic beauty never ever made anyone enlightened. The Bhagavad Gita, if you ever read it, has something in it that says Arjuna is a warrior, and he's about to fight the original family, which is his own family. See, we're going back thousands and thousands of years where there was only one family, and of course, having families with brains, like you and I have, the first thing that happens in every family and every institution is it divides into 2. Have you noticed? And then the 2 divides into 4. And then the 4 divides into 6. And before you know where you are, you've got all the nations on earth, all created by the human brain. Divisive human brain. Anyway, back in those days, at the beginning of time, as it were, or just into time, where they were trying to record something of truth of the myth of the Hindu religion, there was just the one family, and it had divided into this side and that side. And Arjuna was on this side, and he was a warrior, trained to fight. And he's driving along to the battlefield, and he looks across the battlefield, and he says, "This is all my relatives. I can't go and kill them." In other words, this is all myself. All these people are myself, my relatives. I can't kill myself. I can't do that. And Krishna, who was an aspect of God, who was his chariot driver, turned and said to him, "Hey, cut it out. You're a warrior, aren't you?" And Arjuna said, "Yes, I'm a warrior, but these are my people." In other words, myself, you see. "And I can't go and kill them." And Krishna said, "You bloody well better if you're a warrior. Now go and do it. Go and kill yourself. Kill your relatives. Kill a lot of them. Because it is God's world, not yours, and you're a warrior. Do what you are. Do what you're trained to do. Go and do it." That's one of the things. But does man ever know now what he is? Oh, he's such a mixture of this and that, and self-doubt and fears and Christ knows what. And he doesn't know what he is, so how can he do anything that's real? And especially, how can he kill himself, which is all his favorites, all his darlings are himself. So that's one of the things, the only one of the things of value in the Bhagavad Gita, apart from its beautiful, wonderful, soothing, comforting poetry. God save me from all poets. And the second thing in the Bhagavad Gita is in the 18th chapter, the 18th verse of the 18th chapter, which says something like, because I can't remember, but I don't have to remember, I know. It says something like, "Abandoning all dharmas," which means all thoughts, all ways, all things that you think is the way, all your opinions, all your wantings, all your everything, abandoning all dharmas, come for refuge to me alone, and I will give you peace or fulfillment. That's the only important, really important part of the Bhagavad Gita. The only thing that's, so far I've got 3 copies of it sent to me by different masters, followers of different masters, but it's always the first 6 volumes. And there's 12, you see. And I don't know why they don't get on with the second lot, or they don't send me the second lot as well. But they don't. Perhaps they never finished it. But of course in the second lot is what I just said. Come unto me. Come. Well, I mean, that's the Jesus thing, isn't it? Which is the same thing. Come unto me, all ye who labour, and I will give you rest. Same thing, coming from the same source of God. But does anybody ever take any notice of it? Have you surrendered? Have you surrendered everything yet? Well, you can surrender a bit more now. Then you can surrender a bit more in the next minute. So you've got to do what you've got to do. But do you have to do what you've got to do? Are you doing what is useless? Are you? Is your life really doing what's useless? Are you serving anything? Are you serving anything by your life? If you live a holy life of surrender to God and love, if you live a life like that, of no force in you, no self-doubt in you, no wonder, just the praise of God or truth or love within you, and you do what you've got to do, then you're doing something of value.